Hi everyone, it's Sandy Reese with StampItCrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thanks for joining me today. I just realized that I'm wearing the same shirt I was last week. And what's crazy is my husband wants to keep the air on 70 degrees all the time, or 69, and I am freezing. And I put all my winter clothes away, except for a couple of long sleeve kind of just shirts I wear around the house. This one I have to do errands, so it's presentable, and that's why I'm wearing it, because I had to go outside to thaw out this morning for a little bit. So anyway, thanks for joining me. We have our live card class today, and we've got 3 different projects using different supplies. So we're going to be doing our live card class tonight. So I'm very excited, using some new products. So before we get started, just to remind you that lots of new products, new online exclusive products this month. I think this one that we're going to use first may even be one of those online products. And when you place an order of $50 or more with me, I'm going to send you a kit of this month's card class projects for free. So you get a kit to make 6 cards free with your $50 order before tax and shipping. So, and then if you spend just a little bit more, you can get our product of the month for just $5. It's a beautiful stamp set called Begonia Belle. It's a 2-step stamping with beautiful begonias. So many color options and things. Beautiful set. I think we're good. All right, so we're using the Botanical Expressions bundle. The stamp set is just sentiments. So we have 9 different sentiments. I'm trying to do this so you can see. It's 9 different sentiments. And then we have just one die that goes with it. It looks like this. And I just thought that was really interesting. Just this die made me want to get this set. Of course, I always need the sentiments, but I thought I'm going to try this out and see how it works. So our supplies, the only supplies we're using is a piece of soft seafoam cardstock for a card base. So that folds in half. A piece of the Moonlit Flora designer paper. And I'm using this pretty pattern right here. It's small because it's going to show through our leaves when we die cut those. And then I have 2 little gold butterflies from they're online exclusive. It's 2 12 by 12 sheets full of die cut butterflies. And so I managed to get, I don't know, 36 pairs of butterflies, these small ones. There's tons of the small butterflies, and then lots of the bigger butterflies. So that is all we're using. This is our supplies. If you have some of those retired brass butterflies, you could use those too. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to die cut this. Now, the ends are coming off, and then these leaves are going to hold the top and the bottom together. So I want to die cut. Let's see. I'm going to use my grid paper here. And I know I'm on metric because my other side was messy. But this will help me just kind of do, line it up so it's straight. I'm going to line it on my second little grid right there. I'm going to tape this down so it doesn't shift. Is it shifting? I hope not. I hope that's straight. Okay. Let's bring in our die cutter, and we're going to run this through. And put this side to side. I'm going to make sure it's on my mat and not hanging over. I don't have my mat in straight. I'm going to do it a couple times because that's a lot of surface area. It also does a little embossing at the same time. Let's flip this over. And it looks like it's cut pretty well. I might do it one more time. I'm going to put it at a little bit of an angle. Sometimes that helps with getting it cut out all the way, especially if you have a detail die. It's running it through at an angle. But because this is so wide, it's a little harder to do. All right, let's give this a try. I have ink all over me already. Ooh, that cut nice. All right, let's see if we can pop this out. I was a little worried because this looked a little lighter cut, so I may have to just trim with my scissors right there. I have my new snips I just bought. These have come back in stock. I'm going to use those. Okay, and this is a piece right there. I didn't get that very well. I'm just going to trim that piece. And I think I just, I think it's that cutting mat I was using. Needs to be replaced. Okay. I have to use a different cutting mat for tonight. That's not too bad. Let's get that leaf out right there. Okay, perfect. Well, I've got one more piece right here. Let's see if that'll pop right out. Okay, isn't that cool? Let's press our card base one more time. All right, I think that's just the coolest card front. So now you could just put a darker piece back there if you want, or I'm gonna put this, and I've cut it so it overlaps a little bit, and I am just going to put a very thin line of glue close to the edge. I don't want it to ooze into the opening. And then I might just do a few leaves kind of in the middle with a little glue, just to kind of keep it attached. Okay. Move this down. Cut it 5.5 wide, so it should go right edge to edge. If you have any hanging over, you might want to trim that. That looks good. Cute! Okay, now we're going to use Secret C. We're going to stamp our sentiment. It says, "You're wonderful in every way." That's good for a lot of different occasions. Let's stamp that right there. And then we're going to pop up our 2 butterflies. Sometimes I lose these butterflies. I don't know how. They are pretty narrow in the middle. So let's cut that down just a hair. I'm going to put this one right here. I got a little piece right here. Let's see if we can get this on the small butterfly. Put that one there, and then these are new as well. They're called Mosaic Adhesive Back Dots. These actually I don't think are out yet. You're going to get a little sneak peek at these. Not sure when they're coming in. They're not in the new catalog, I don't think, so we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to use the clear ones. But they're just clear, and they have like little bits of glitter inside. We've had some products like this in the past. So, you know, just use what you have. Rhinestones would be good. Anything Secret C or gold would be awesome too. All right, and that's it. Isn't that cute? Super simple, but sometimes simple things that pack a punch are great. Okay, get all the pieces out of there. So that is card number 1. I'm trying to get things put away as I go so I don't lose them before I have class tonight. Okay. Throw a die in here. All right. I put these, I buy a bunch of these. I was losing my, you know, sometimes I lose bone folders. I have a lot of classes and they just get picked up inadvertently, not on purpose. But sometimes my bone folders or paper piercers would go missing. And so when I am done, I bought a whole big pack of cheap ones in bright colors so that hopefully, here's another one. And I have green, I have several bright colors in hopes that these will stay put. And then I bought a whole bunch of bone folders, inexpensive ones, because they were walking away. And my husband drilled a hole in them, and I put a giant puffball, giant pom-pom on a keychain on my bone folders. I don't think I've lost any so far. So, you know, and they're fun colors too for class. Okay, so we are going to get to our next project. We're using the All Aflutter bundle. I love this bundle, and we're going to use Berry Burst for ink. And let's see, what else do we have? I think that's everything. I have used this little die from the Scallop Blooms dies. I had seen another card like this, or I'd gotten a swap, I can't remember. But I thought it was really cute. So I am using Berry Burst for my card base. I have a piece of white for the inside, and I'm using the Velvet Meadow, I think that's what it's called, designer paper. I had a bunch of these sheets left where it's a pattern across the bottom and then the pattern on the opposite side facing in. So you can get 6 card fronts out of a sheet. And for whatever reason, I had a whole bunch of these. So I wanted to use them for card class this month because sometimes, you know, simple is great. And you need to let the paper speak for itself, or the die speak for itself. Okay, so I cut that die I just showed you from Scallop Blooms in Lost Lagoon. And I think I'm actually going to put it on this side because I don't want to cover up any of my flowers. I've got glue over here, so let's get our adhesive remover and get that glue off. I'm sorry if this shakes the table. Okay, so I have 2 pieces of white for our stamping. We are going to stamp our sentiment in Lost Lagoon, and I'm just using Fluttering By to say hi. And I don't want it too close to the top. I can't see that white on white. I want it down just a little bit. Okay, that's all we're stamping in Lost Lagoon. And I'm gonna grab Berry Burst. Stamps are stuck to the top of that. Do you guys have that problem? Probably not, unless you're taking your stuff to classes and you're loading it all up in a box. So I'm going to put my little fluttering line right here. And then we're going to stamp these solid butterflies. They're not all the solid, but they have more of a, we have 3 sets. We have solid, we have the one we're using here, and then more of a detailed negative image. This has more of a solid butterfly image, but not completely solid. Am I making sense? I don't know. Okay. So I cut my white cardstock wider than I needed so that I could use part of it to hold while I put it in the punch. And I love when the punch punches out all the pieces at the same time. I'm going to cut off that corner so I can maneuver this a little better. I just want to get it centered, make sure all the different images are centered. Looks good. Pop. All right, let's do some assembly now. We are going to just glue this down. You know, I should have done it this way. I did it that way because I put my butterfly here, but that's okay. If you're going to do this, put it going, you know, where you have your blank space to put your butterfly. What the heck was I thinking? Where helps you fix that? How do we fix that? We're going to put our butterfly, our smallest butterfly, kind of butterflying down this direction. That's how we're going to fix that. Okay, let's put this butterfly going up, and then this big one we're going to put coming up this direction. And then I like to fold up my wings. Super fun. And you can, if you want, you can use Wink of Stella on your butterflies. Be careful though, anything with pinks or reds, it's going to run. So you want to be careful, you know, to be precise on where you want your Wink of Stella. And then we're going to use the iridescent pearls for our embellishments. Looking for my piercer. And I'm going to get a large. I'm going to put this one here, and then I'm going to do a couple smalls. One there, and let's grab another small and put it right here. I might move this up a little bit. Put that one up there. Oh, cute. Love that. And our white goes on the inside. This is just a little hello card, so I'm not necessarily going to stamp a sentiment on the inside. But I do want to put a butterfly. I don't want all 3 butterflies, I just want one. So let's clean this really well and see if we can just ink up this one butterfly up at the top. And then put that right here. Maybe do it one more time. Kind of coming up in that direction. Then I don't have to write so much inside. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. So that is card number 2. I'll show you my sample where I put the line in the same place, but it was over to the side, so I had room for my butterfly. That's okay. We can have an upside down butterfly. They fly all over the place, right? He's going in for a landing on the flowers is what's happening. Okay. I'm putting this in the wrong box. That's going to get me in trouble. Get me in trouble tonight. Okay. So our colors in here, if you haven't seen, I know a lot of you come to classes. If you don't come to classes, I put all my supplies in a plastic tub, and then everything goes in here. Here's all my projects. I get them put in the envelope so they're nice and easy for everybody to grab a hold of, and they're all organized. Okay. I'm talking and not paying attention. Sorry, not paying attention to what I'm doing. That's going to get me in trouble. Okay. Need to put these back in. All right, so that's project number 2. Let's get to our last one. This one I thought was fun. We're going to do a fun fold. This is the card. I saw, where did I don't know. I think I got one of these as a swap, or I saw the you know, this paneled look somewhere. I don't know where. I'm terrible about where I find things. And so I love this paper. I'm going to post what it is because right now I can't think. It's some sort of floral paper. It's an online exclusive. And I'm going to be honest, I am using some retired ribbon. This was the Mossy Meadow in gold because we don't have a lot of ribbon, and I didn't have any ribbon that coordinated with this card. So, and this was, I had not put this away from into my retired stash yet. So that's what we're using. You can use, this is the Petal Pink. So if you have any Petal Pink ribbon, you can use that. Okay, so I've cut the card down. It's 5.5 tall still. It's only 6 wide, and then I scored it at 4 1/4. So this is 1 3/4 inches wide. And I'm going to cut or glue this designer paper here. I will post all the measurements on my, no, I won't, because this is a card class. So if you want the card class and you want the measurements, you need to place an order, and you're going to get a PDF with a picture of the card and then all the measurements and supplies. I will post some of the supplies on my blog, but I will not post measurements. Okay, so if you want the measurements, you need to come to, you need to place an order. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. All right, so to assemble these two patterns, what I did was I took this one and put it flush right here with the side. And then I'm going to take this panel and just on the one side, I'm going to put glue, hopefully in a straight line. And I'm going to kind of center that between the two. So I'm just kind of eyeballing where this other panel is going to overlap. I just want it straight. You don't want the glue to seep out there. I like the liquid glue because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. And then we're going to take this panel, make sure your flowers are going the right direction. And we're going to put glue there and then glue this down, centered top and bottom, flush with the right side of the card. I mean, how easy is that to make that cute fun fold? Now, when you're writing, make sure to avoid these two spots. Do your writing right here and then come back in because you don't want that showing. All right, now let's do our focal point and our sentiment up on top. I think we're done with glue. So I'm going to take the Petal Pink and Mossy Meadow. We're going to stamp this frame right in the middle. I'm going to cut that out with some scissors, but let's do our stamping first. By the way, I'm using the Exciting Times bundle. It's this stamp set. It has 5 sentiments, 2 frames, and then it comes with this rounded rectangle punch. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our stamping on this piece. I'm going to use Petal Pink and the other little frame, which is kind of this little lined starburst type frame. Stamp that right in the middle. And then my sentiment, I'm just doing happy birthday. And that's going to go right in the middle. You can always use good birthday cards. Trying to make sure it's straight. Those little lines are throwing me off. Well, that's not very straight. Let's try it one more time. What did I do wrong last time? It was going up, and I don't want it to go up on the right. Let's try it again. Maybe if I stick it on here, I can see better. I'm just going to look at my happy and get that straight, hopefully. Oh, it's a little better. Still a tad to the left, but, you know, I'm okay with that. All right. That's all the stamping we're going to do. This one's easy. We're just going to punch this right out. There'll be a little bit of a white border, not much. Okay. And then with this one, we have to cut it, but it is pretty much straight lines. I like to leave a little border, but that outside line is thicker. So if you want, you could cut right on that line, and there's enough of a border to give you a little bit of leeway. And then I'm just kind of notching out those little corners as I go. And you know, it's okay. I'm not the straightest cutter either. So if you struggle with that, it's okay. That's why I leave a little bit of border, because it's much more forgiving, right? Okay, let's grab some larger dimensionals this time. Okay. All right, we're going to put this centered on the card front, and I'm going to put this ribbon. It's a little bit long. I'm going to do more of the green one. Ooh, my stomach is growling. I didn't eat for breakfast. Okay, where are my ribbon scissors here? All right, I'm going to trim this down a bit, about halfway on the designer paper on that side. Same with this one. Okay, and then we're going to pop this up. And I don't think I need 3 large ones. Or 4. We're just going to do 3. And then it's going to cover up that most inside one, the inside frame, but that middle frame will show too. Isn't that cute? And you know, I'm not even going to do an embellishment because we've got a little bit of glitter and bling right there, and I think that's all we need. So these are card class projects for these. I left this one longer. It's up to you. Our projects for today, or this month, for July. Aren't those cute? We've got this one. Where did I put my other? Oh, this is my sample. So yeah, we've got butterflies. We've got florals. Just lots of good all-purpose cards, because you could put any sentiment here, anything here, anything here. It'd be good for a lot of different occasions. This would be even great for a masculine card. Just, you know, maybe leave the butterflies out, put some dragonflies on there, or just some dots, or some ribbon around. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do to make it yours. All right, who do we have on today? Oh, Carrie Ray. Hi, Carrie. Brenda. Hi, ladies. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. All right, bye-bye.